paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying, I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes.
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
Well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Yeah, when I was at yesterday, I was the only person in the room with Riftbound and the only person in the room with Magic. I got a lot of people who came to my booth and said, "Oh my god, is that a real Black Lotus?" I just put my Lotus in the case or whatever. I had no intention. It was like $4,000 too expensive. But I had the most expensive item in the room, and every single person came by to be like, "Oh, that's so interesting."
Oh, you
Magic
had a
money
Lotus?
is different, man. Yeah, Magic money moves different.
Can you imagine not being a f***ing Magic player and seeing the mythic Black Lotus as like just like a Pokemon dork? Like that would actually be like, holy f***, I never... Like, they're not jaded. I've, like, held multiple copies of Splendid Generation and just, like that. It's just, like, I'm so jaded.
I mean, they see a $14,000 card in a case, and they're just like, whoa, I didn't know cards could be that expensive. Like, I knew there was, like, PSA 10 Charizard, and it's like...
Yeah.
This is a raw beat-to-shit Lotus for 14 grand. You pay me.
And welcome to Brainstorm Brewery, everybody. Corbin Hostler, Cass, as always. And we got Jason here this week. So welcome in, Jason, to the show. We've, as you can tell, we got a rolling start because those are always the best here on the show. And
why do you look like Gallagher?
Let's continue that. Because I have the flu or the COVID Rona, or maybe I just didn't sleep enough. I don't know. Everyone in my house is sick. So bear with me, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. That's why, to answer your question.
That's why.
I don't have to...
We're going Gallagher mode today.
I don't know what Gallagher is.
You know the one who smashes the watermelons with the big hammer?
I'm vaguely aware of there being a... I couldn't tell you, like, is that something from the 1920s, the 1970s, 2002? I don't know what that is.
Now, is this anything like the watermelon smashing comedian Gallagher 2?
Do you have to watch Gallagher to understand Gallagher too?
Yeah.
Is it a silent film? I don't think.
No, it's a show
Gallagher
about a bald kid who has to
1980s,
master the elements.
He was making fun of something on a commercial called the Vegematic, and he's like, I got a vegetable masher too. It's called the Sledge-O-Matic. And then he hits a watermelon, and then people are like, do that every time. And he's like, no. I don't want to do that every time. And they're like, no, do that every time. You always got to hit a watermelon. You're a watermelon guy. And he's like, you, I'm smart. I can write jokes about how smart I am. You. And they're like, we want the watermelon. And then his brother's like, Gallagher too. And he did the watermelon. And Gallagher's like, I'll sue you, you piece of shit. So funny.
What
Gallagher...
the hell?
Oh,
I feel like
worse.
I'm there.
It's worse. Patton Oswalt tells this story about Gallagher, like, did this show and he said he could do it in Spanish, but he was just like putting O at the end of words.
Okay.
And the audience was mad at him and he was like, I'm a genius. Yeah, Gallagher's, he's crazy.
Is he alive?
Yeah. I'm
Is he?
podcasting with him right now. It's the hair. It's
Gallagher
not
died in 2022.
Admittedly, the mustache that he has in you.
Oh, I just saw a video of him using a mallet to smash a watermelon last year. Oh, it's a pie.
Yeah, well,
He's
it wasn't
smashing
last
a
year.
pie. No, it's a watermelon and a pie. He's smashing a watermelon and a pie in the year 2024 and spitting it out.
It just sucks because sometimes, you know, when you're a comedian, you'll do something and people will ask you to do that. And you have two choices. You could be Larry the Cable Guy for the rest of your life because that one bit made people
I was going
laugh.
to say the machine.
Or you could never do that material again.
I think
Anytime anybody's like, hey, man, that was pretty funny, I just never did that again.
I think it's better if you don't do it again, but it's hard to argue with people going to take photos with the machine, so without his shirt on.
Yeah.
Like,
That guy is deeply unfunny and has one really good story. And you know what? You can make a career off that these days if you're willing to sell
I saw
out.
someone.
If your friend is Joe Rogan only, like if all your friends are
True.
hacks too, you could be a huge hack.
I saw someone post a
Like,
picture
if
with
the
the
best-
machine guy recently. Like a friend on Facebook who had like 20 likes on his photo, not an ad or anything. He was just like, heard the machine was here, gotta go take a photo. Like,
I
know,
have-
if he
I
had
have a
never done
photo
that
with
joke
him.
again, he would not have a career.
You could probably find a photo on Facebook of me with Bert. It's not a big deal. He
Did he?
takes a shirtless photo with everybody because he never wears a shirt.
That's my point. He's got a brand, man. It's important to have a brand, especially in the media ecosystem of 2025. You know.
I know, but then you got to tell the machine story every time you're on a stage.
Okay.
And I just couldn't. I can't sit through him telling it a third time. I can't imagine telling it a second time.
I mean, Jason, you tell a story about how you quit Magic every time I see you, but you're not a millionaire. What's up with that?
Got You quit Magic? I quit Magic too. That's why I have more Magic cards than ever.
I know.
I'm a Riftbound player now.
I just accepted a whole box of bulk over the weekend. Why? Because I drafted Shards, which was awesome, by the way. And now I wanted some Magic cards.
Drafting Shards is...
Well, I can tell you that Magic design
fun.
has come a long way since then because the draft was very fun. I have a couple thoughts on it. Like it was very fun, but the mana fixing is terrible. Like, and it's terrible to the point that like the games are mostly decided by who does or does not have their colors of mana, and it just kind of isn't awesome, right? Like my experience was that 4 of the 6 games I played were largely impacted by someone not having their colors of mana. And it one of the interesting things is that since then, and that set was basically the first set I started drafting in like 2008 or so, they didn't just change how they print cards or the amount of mana fixing they print. They changed how they collated the sheets so that you can get, say, a dual land in every pack. And comparing the experience to Tarkir Dragonsword, which was on Quick Draft on Arena, to drafting Shards, it's just wild how far they've come. For the, limited enjoyers among us. I mean, also, they just printed Mother of Runes in that set. There's just an artifact that like costs 2 mana and can just tap to regenerate any artifact, including itself. It's deeply, deeply poor gameplay in some ways compared to 2025.
Yeah, but what are you doing? You're like making some 1/1 Strix.
Yeah, that's why it's dominant. That's why it's
2-card combo to make a blocker. Like
pingers are absurd in the format.
Pingers are absurd. Vithian Stinger and Druid of the Anima are both pick 1 pack 1-able in that format. It's just crazy.
I remember when people would open up a booster pack, see like a decent rare, and be like, "Oh crap! There's a tapper. I can tap their creatures at the beginning of every combat.
Yeah.
I can spend 1 or 2 mana every turn." Priest of Avacyn, is that what it was called? That was like the 2 mana plus 2 to activate tap non-human.
Not in Shards.
No, but in Avacyn Restored or Innistrad or whatever.
I'm trying to remember.
That was the one that was like everyone was so excited about it, and it was fine.
Yeah. Well, and also one of the things I noted is that in this set, there were a bunch of tap to prevent damage that would be dealt to you, or tap to give a creature -1/-1, or tap to give a creature -2/-0 in combat. And it made me think about like sort of the design philosophy of it really discouraged people from attacking in some ways back then. Because and also just made complexity much higher and made limited more difficult to get into, because the power and toughness on your cards was not the power and toughness on your cards in combat, just by virtue of commons in the set, right? And that, unsurprisingly, doesn't make people feel great. It leads to a lot of gotcha moments in gameplay that isn't an awesome experience, I imagine, for trying to get people into your game.
You know who we should have talk about Shards Limited is Bouchard. He actually, not just because his name's Bouchard, I just realized that. Bouchards won a PTQ, Shards Limited, and he qualified for a PT in Japan. And that was what kind of allowed him to quit his job and become a full-time Magic loser.
In talking about Shards Limited, I was reminded of the Pro Tour in Honolulu that was Shards block constructed with a draft top 8, which was cool to me.
That is cool.
And I found an MTG Salvation thread.
Let's go.
That was talking about, the top 8 was here, and I clicked the link for coverage, and it took me to WotC's product page, company.wizards.com.
Oh, yeah, all the old coverage links are broken.
Yeah, it takes me to like a marketing page. And the top reply in that thread was, "So Tom Ross made it top 8, huh? Used to know that guy in college. He helped me get better at competitive Magic." From June 7th, 2009.
That's wild. Old school internet throwbacks. The internet was so much better back in the day, as they say, as we boom our way through the podcast here. We were talking about...
Did anyone ever say the internet was better back then?
Yeah. Everyone.
I yearn for V-Bulletin message boards, Jason.
Everyone thinks the internet was better 10, 15
I never
years ago.
I was about to
using
talk
message
about
boards.
how I have this real, like, do you remember forum signatures?
Yes.
This person's signature is like Betty White in a lab coat holding 2 defibrillator paddles. And it says, "Follow me on Instagram," which is too newfangled for me. And then like a bunch of links to like the decks that they're playing with the mana symbols next to them. That shit is a throwback.
No kidding. That's wild. Well, you know, TCGs in general have come a long way since then. We were talking about Riftbound earlier. We've talked about Pokemon. And I mean to say this, just that as a whole, trading card games are coming out at a fast rate. They seem to be doing well across the board. There's huge One Piece cards. Flesh and Blood is still going on. Pokemon is still Pokemon, right? Magic is the biggest it's ever been. Riftbound is huge. Lorcana is growing. Like, it's a lot going on. Lorcana is going to start giving away promo cards at select Disney movies, for instance. Like Topps is doing
Pokemon
trading
used
card.
to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Topps is doing. Oh, I might have got that mixed up then. But yeah, Topps is doing releases for Disney movies. My son made me buy him one for Tron. Like, it's just, it is kind of crazy the value physical collectibles are holding in the age of the internet, because they're probably one of the very few physical things that people actually care about purchasing and holding.
So something that is worth noting is that, you know, there's a bunch of new TCGs on the market, lots of competition, and for the first time in, you know, about a year and a half, the Pokemon market is meaningfully pulling back. We are seeing prices on Pokemon things drop. I was in a room yesterday with a couple hundred people who were purely Pokemon collectors and vendors, and it was a lot of sentiment in the room of, well, who knows where this is going to be in a year. A lot of people lowballing because of that, for sure, but also, like, we've seen, you know, slabs that were consistently, you know, PSA 10s of popular Pokemon that were consistently like $5,000-$10,000 that are now $3,000 to $5,000, right? Like, real pullback on a market that seemed like it was exploding, and that was kind of always inevitable with Pokemon. There's so much competition now, and, you know, as Jason alluded to earlier, the economic situation only gets a little bit worse every day.
Yeah, Pokemon is just, I do the movers and shakers every week for TCG Player, and the last couple months have been very, very slow. And I just checked in on this week. There was one card that had a big jump, and everything else dropped. So yeah. Pokemon is still Pokemon. We had lines out the door for selling cards last week, but the top end of the market definitely seems to be pulling back.
It feels different when you're staying at home and you got a COVID stimulus check versus like you're working more than you've ever worked and saving less than you've ever saved.
I mean, Pokemon's
$400 for
gone
every
huge
Pokemon
over the
standard
past
box.
year.
Yeah.
Sure.
Pokemon stuff wasn't sustainable is the real thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
was
it
always
never
going
felt
to
like
pull
it
back.
was when there were people like fighting vending machines at Walmart like at midnight when they opened and shit
But-
like that. Like, it just never got that bad for Magic, because I think Pokemon is the perfect confluence of playability and collectability. And while Magic is just starting to explore that, it doesn't have to rely on it to eat.
Right. Like, people still buy Magic cards because they are strong.
Yeah.
The number of people in the room I was in yesterday who know how to play the Pokemon TCG beyond just, like, playing the game functionally, like, at any moderately high level, was probably under 10.
Yeah, I agree. That seems to be the case. Pokemon's for collecting, Magic's for playing. And there are many opinions about how to play Magic. For instance, did you all know that pile shuffling discourse is alive and well in 2025? It is.
Imagine playing a format where so little changed that to have a lively Twitter existence, you had to just stir all the time. Like, EDH, there's always new stuff, but like for pros, it's like, oh, I haven't pissed off everybody in a while. Here's why people who don't sideboard 16 cards are scrubs, and it's a lot.
The actual thing is that people who pile shuffle are cheaters. They are cheating in real time, and that back when Joe Lissette would call a judge on his opponent for pile shuffling and tell them they were cheating every time, he was correct to do so. Also, people discourse about pile shuffling instead of playtesting so they can blame their losses on not their skill gap.
Yeah. I just I think it's just wild that I saw this in real time out in the internet among an active Magic community. People having discourse about, does pile shuffling equal cheating? And if you shuffle beforehand and then pile shuffling, does it equal cheating? And if you're doing that, what the f are you doing anyway? It just, the full on pile shuffling discourse, alive and well in 2025. So
it's cheating no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, pile shuffling is pile shuffling, right? Like, it's not allowed.
You waste
well,
time
actually,
on
you're
the
allowed
clock.
to do
It
it
shouldn't
once.
be getting used. You shouldn't be allowed to do it once. You shouldn't be allowed to do it any times when you are on the clock. It's like when my opponent casts the card Doomsday, I count to 60, and if they have not made a Doomsday pile after 60 seconds, I tell them to make a pile, and then 20 seconds later, I call a judge. Just because you're playing a harder deck doesn't mean you get more time for one game action.
Yeah, I agree with that take in general, because there has actually been a lot of discourse, too, around slow play again. And a lot of the even standard games, for instance, there's just a lot of mechanical triggers and stuff that go on in Magic compared to where it used to be, maybe not 30 years ago, but 10 years ago. There's just a lot of game actions that take place even in your average standard game. So, clock discourse is always a thing. I saw people suggesting you could use chess clocks in Magic last week. Like a real competitive Magic player who was convinced that we could just use chess clocks.
This is 2003 discourse, all of it.
Yeah, I don't understand what's happening. Maybe it's just a whole new generation of players learning for the first time, and we're just old.
Yeah.
But yes, for the record, you cannot use chess clocks in competitive Magic. It will not work.
Because your card would bend when you know how you slam your opponent's piece that you captured down on the chess clock so that the camera focuses on
I did not know that. I did not know that.
Like in Searching for Bobby Fischer. Yeah. When you take their queen, you go bam, and you slam it down on the chess clock to stop the time. You do that with a Magic card, like you destroy their card or something, you can't slam it on the chess clock. So it wouldn't work. You'd bend the card.
He's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but a queen is the perfect size to just click. Yeah, gotcha.
Physics of that check out.
Yeah. So don't be using a chess clock, and don't bend their cards.
Also, just to clarify for everyone who doesn't know, as we say, you're talking about new players who maybe don't know, to Cass's point about pile shuffling being cheating, pile shuffling your deck is not randomizing your deck. And furthermore, there used to be a really common cheat that people would do with their limited decks, which were 40 cards, which conveniently worked out to piles of whatever. And they could essentially weave their mana just if you put all your lands in one spot on one end and all your stuff on the other, you can then weave your lands throughout your deck so that you always draw a fairly reasonable amount of lands. And that is, we can argue about whether that is more cheating than people who just pile shuffle to waste time and not sufficiently randomize.
You know why
deck,
I know it's more
but all
cheating?
of it is against the rules.
Because it has a flim flam nickname, right? Anything that's got a nickname like the Michigan Shuffle, right? That's a flim flam. No, it's called the double nickel. The 40 card thing with the pile shuffle. It's called the double nickel. The double nickel is a old Tammy heist.
It's a card trick.
The movie ass name of it. The double nickel. It's the double nickel saloon back in 1934 when I gave the guy a $50 bill with my name written on it, and then came back and later, where's my $50 bill for my birthday? I pulled off the double nickel. I don't know. It sounds
you're probably
like
not wrong, because it probably does. It probably does relate back to some kind of I think it's like an old card cheater trick or something, So
yeah.
You're probably not wrong about where it originated.
So yeah, I have to apologize for knowing the words double nickel and not
one time in my life.
I was born in the 20th century, actually, so yeah, I'm old.
One time in my life, there was somebody who used to do it all the time when I first started playing Magic, and I did do the reverse shuffle on them once, where you just undo what they did, and now their lands are on top and their others are on bottom. But eventually,
that's the triple nickel.
The triple nickel.
That's called
but eventually, I just
shuffle.
started picking it up and shuffling it. But Anyway, that's there's just it's just TCGs. The more things change, the more new ones come in with all their different things, and the more things stay the same in them. Speaking of things staying the same, we have your favorite segment right now. It's time for Breaking Bulk.
Breaking Bulk time.
This segment never changes, except that the rules change every week.
The guesses change every week.
Can I do my best DJ impression real quick?
Please do.
Wiki.
So, guys, I was looking at my my Roku, and I found a colorless token from Journey into Ravnica, but only on the bonus sheet. Can you guys guess that one? Fuck you, DJ. I have a Duskmourn White Rare.
Duskmourn.
Reluctant role model.
No, that is my favorite card in the set, though.
What's the other?
Dazzling.
Is this rare worth
Theater.
more or less than Sheltered by Ghosts?
Sheltered by Ghosts is expensive.
Probably less, because it's a Breaking Bulk, yeah.
Dazzling Theater.
No.
I'm not gonna know. Is it a room?
Ghostly
Not a room.
Dancers.
No.
Ghostly Dancers is definitely bulk, but that's a really good card.
Yeah, I like that one. There's like 4 more rares in the set, y'all. Come on.
I know, but I don't know them because that set was deeply stupid.
No, Duskmourn's awesome.
I like Duskmourn.
I like that there's a card called
Corbin.
Chainsaw. I like a lot about Duskmourn. I'm just being a poopy butt. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think about what it might be.
I can't think. If it's not the role model, that's the one I know. Oh, is it the doll? Not Arabella,
No.
the other one, like the
Twitching Doll is green.
Yeah, it's not any of the
Twitching
dolls.
Doll's green. Okay, you stumped me. If it's not a room,
I
it's not
win,
the
I
one.
guess.
I guess so.
It's split up.
Oh, just the Wrath. Yeah, that's
I
from
thought
that set.
Split Up was a couple of bucks. I thought that would have been because Corbin was on this
It's
cast
dipped
talking
back
about.
down.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
So-
gone up and down in playability and whatnot, but yeah.
Splitty.
Yeah. It's dipped down to like about $1, $1.50, and it has buy lists equivalent to its price again. Stuff like this, cards that are playable from standard sets, when Duskmourn is going to be at some point a 3-year-old set in standard,
Yes.
you got to watch out for these.
It's gonna be in
probably
there
end up
for
with
a
a lot of
long
them in
time.
random stacks of cards from collections that you buy or packs that you've opened. Split up.
Yep, that's a good one. Some people were actually talking to me last night asking about how standard rotation works now, and I was explaining to them that some cards will be legal for essentially 3 years, right? And is it possible that Duskmourn is legal even longer because of the rotation window moving to January? I don't know. But yes, it's easy to forget about cards, and a lot of times the power creep makes old ones sort of not matter as much, older sets. But assuming they kind of flatten some of that at some point, like things like Split Up are going to be relevant for a long time still, and it's a year from now it'll still have a year left.
I'm looking at a card that's a couple of bucks despite quite a few printings, and recently it was in Dominaria Remastered, and anybody who opened that has given these to me in bulk. So I'm going to say this blue common, originally from Urza's Legacy, and most recently in Dominaria Remastered, is a couple of bucks despite, being common and having several printings. Do you know this
It's a
Urza's
rare?
Legacy blue common?
No, it's not a real set.
Urza's Legacy is not a real set?
Legacy is Hammer.
Yeah, it's Hammer.
It's not. Is it Snap or Cloud of Fairies?
It's not Cloud of Fairies, it's Snap. Snap's actually worth more than Cloud of Fairies, and it has more printings, which is wild to me. Snap is a free spell, which is messed up. You play it and you untap lands, and that's especially relevant in decks like Firelord Azula that want to be casting a bunch of spells during combat. Firelord Azula is the most popular Avatar deck on EDH Rec right now. It's Grixis, kind of spell slinger BS, and Snap is heavily in the mix, as is my pick of the week. So if you want more Firelord Azula content, you'll have to hang on till the end of the pod. Jesus, I'm sorry. I just want us to get noticed by the algorithm. But yeah, I've got a Firelord Azula pick for pick of the week. So stay tuned, you stupid idiots.
Good one, Jason. Good breaking bulk. I have a Magic Foundations Red Common that was also printed in a different set, but only the Foundations one is worth money.
Why? Does it have a different art?
No, it's just in standard. It has lower supply, I'm guessing.
This is something
Firebrand.
I'll tell you this. I've noticed this about Foundations. All the cards have a baseline higher market price than their previous printings, and I think it's because Foundations has a lot of SEO as far as being a core set or whatever. It's called Magic Foundations.
Well, it also could be a starter deck card.
That
Or
could
so
also
the starter
be
collection
true.
card.
I don't know
It's a
well enough to
common?
say, but that could be true. This card is $1. Like
I haven't-
market,
Is it
but
Burst Lightning?
Yeah, I was going
No.
to say Burst Lightning because it is. There's all right.
Yeah.
go ahead.
That card's
I don't
good,
get
Jason.
credit
Like,
for that if it's right.
It's not right, though.
But I was
not
going to
Frenzied
say Burst Lightning too.
Firebrand?
That's a.
I mean, there's
That's
buy lists on
common.
buy lists on all of these, but
Oh.
the
It's the
Foundations
stupid
one.
Hour Devastation card, the, pinger.
It's not. It's an artifact that was originally in Commander Legends.
You said it was a red card.
Yes, it's a red artifact.
A red artifact
Oh, my God.
from Foundations.
Originally in Commander Legends. Battle for Baldur's Gate. It
Equipment.
was also in
Battle for
Foundations
Baldur's
Jumpstart.
Baldur's Gate red artifact. Was in Foundations Jumpstart, not Foundations proper?
Both. Okay, I declare victory.
The Orb of Dragonkind?
Yes.
Oh, wait.
It
To be
is.
clear,
That's
I
not
was
a
looking it up
that's not a
because this is
founda-
bullshit.
Is it? I bought Foundations. I would.
Yeah,
all right.
It's not in
Okay.
Foundations proper. It's
It's
not
in
in Foundations
Foundations
proper,
Jumpstart.
Jason. Yeah, you are correct.
It's in both.
Yeah, he did say it was in both.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at the set spoiler right now because I did.
Let me
cheat to get
reply.
here,
Let me rephrase in a better way. Then it has two Foundations printings.
No,
If y'all want, I can
Okay.
legit just do a different one because I
No,
didn't
no.
realize it
this
wasn't.
is perfect.
released.
Actually, Corbin was right all along. It turns out it's just that on Gatherer, there is no listing for the Foundations version, as far as I can tell.
Oh, there you go.
But
But it does sell
it
for
does
$1 on
exist.
TCG Player, and there is buy lists on even the Baldur's Gate version as well. So if you catch any of your Carnelian Orb of Dragonkinds, you might pull them out of your bulk, even if you don't, really get anything out of it now. They're going to do dragons again. So it's not a bad one to have sitting around necessarily, especially the way with the explosion of popularity of Magic over the last 5 years. Cards can really move because there's just a magnitude of difference between the people playing and following sort of new developments of the game online in 2025 than there was in, even 2019, right? Even in a pre-pandemic world. So you really see cards explode when they hit with a new commander. All right, as a reminder, we get all of our breaking bulks and we look them up. That's how we learn some of these things. Sometimes on Gatherer, but that's pretty much hit or miss and mostly miss. But on MTG Ban, it is always hits. Go check out the MTG Ban, the Arbitrage Network. That is what you want. You can use a gift code Brainstorm Brewery to get a discount on your first month. And we appreciate everyone who checks out Ban because we appreciate Ban for sponsoring us. And now it's time. We couldn't let Jason come on here this week without asking him about, college hockey. We did that, but that might be after hours.
I
for
hope
our
that gets
patrons.
cut.
That's after hours for patrons, maybe. Go check out that Patreon. You get those after hours with Jason. But what we are going to talk about right now is Avatar and Commander with Avatar. I had somebody send me on a hunt because they were at work. They wanted me to go get them an Avatar box at any price on Friday of pre-release so that they could try to open Aang and build their Avatar deck around it. Is that what people are building in Commander?
Aang is the third most popular deck, Avatar Aang, so I wouldn't be surprised. It's like a $15, $20 card right now, with supply being just like whatever weird it is right now. Toph, the first metal bender, of course, number one. Firelord Azula, less old than Toph, catching up very fast, and the number one deck for the week. Firelord Azula is, hot.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of cards spiking because of that.
Mm-hmm. Toph, Azula,
Surtur.
and Zuko. So Katara is top 10. and Katara double triggers allies, so a bunch of old ally stuff popped. And that stuff was all dirt cheap because I built an ally deck like not even a year ago.
Yeah.
Well, no, I guess it's more than a year ago at this point. Not even 2 years ago. And all that stuff was bulk rares, all those rares. And those all pop because double triggers on allies is very good. Because you can mill people legitimately with Halimar Excavator.
Halimar Excavator is a sweet ass card, man.
And like I was doing that. Actually, there was a standard deck where you
Yes, there was.
you had Halimar Excavator out of the sideboard, and that was hilarious. I loved it.
Standard allies was great. I don't know if there's enough allies in this to make anything like that happen, but it'd be cool if there was.
So I was doing it in whoever it is that makes the slivers, but it can also make the slivers be any other thing. The
Sure.
5-color commander. So I just did that with allies, and that was a lot of fun.
Morphon?
No, not more fun.
I don't know.
Whatever. Who cares?
If you know, put it in the
I don't
comments.
know
on
I don't
YouTube.
know the names of Magic cards, and you know what? That's not my job.
Well, it's really difficult. Like I made a decision to basically not touch through the Omen paths on Arena because I don't have the bandwidth to learn the card names twice, and I do have to know the card names. So it's going to be kind of difficult. Like Worlds is in a couple weeks. I think it might be kind of a challenge. We'll see, because it does get to be a lot of different sets and IPs and naming conventions. And I don't know a lot of these IPs, some of these ones coming out very well. So it actually makes it even harder for me. But yeah, so I feel you there.
So it looks like there's a pretty big drop off in popularity after like Iroh the Grand Lotus is like the last deck with like more than 1,100. So like there's about 5 times as many Toph decks as Katara decks right now. So that'll let you know how popular the really kind of spiky stuff is. Toph seems like every time there is a commander that everybody fully agrees on their building, it seems like it's always Naya. Something about Naya, just like, I guess it's a bunch of different ways you could build it.
What was the last one? The elf one, right? That everyone was so mad about?
And there was a rabbit, and there was...
This is Voja.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Voja. That's what I was thinking of.
They're troublemakers.
The thing about
For
Naya
those who
is
don't
it's
know-
just green-white, but you get to play good cards too.
For those who don't know, Toph, we'll put it up on the screen, of course, is a 4 mana in Naya colors. 3/3 with non-token artifacts you control are lands. At the beginning of your end step, Earthbend 2. So I played against this over the weekend, and my opponent had all the 2 mana cards like Elsewhere Flask.
So yeah, they're cantrips.
Yes. So what we do is you would Earthbend one of those and then return it, sacrifice it. It comes back into play because of the Earthbend ability. You get to draw again. So it becomes this weird little like rock deck with a lot of value that then generates whatever. I don't know. It metal bends things. Why does the metal bender have Earthbend? Just
Because she's also an earthbender.
Wasn't metal bending not introduced until Legend of Korra?
No.
Couldn't
Toph,
tell you.
spoilers, Corbin, because you're currently watching the series.
Sure.
Toph is the first metal bender. That's the point. She invents metal bending. She was an earthbender who realized that
Oh.
there's earth in the metal, because metal comes from the earth.
Reading the
she
card
breaks out of-
explains the character.
She breaks out of prison by bending metal for the first time. She invents it. She then, in Legend of Korra, invents like the metal bending school, and then there's an entire city made out of metal, run by metal benders who are her family. Oh my god. Do you all lack media literacy?
Did Toph do that in Avatar or in
Yes.
Legend of Korra, though?
In season 3 of Avatar, she is in a metal
Thank you.
box on the back of a cart, and she like finger blasts the side of the fucking metal box, and it busts open, and she like breaks it open. It's crazy. It's great. It's a really cool moment.
Maybe
And
I
on
should-
that
Spoiler alert,
note,
Corbin.
maybe I should
You
rewatch
should-
it.
and on that
It's
note,
really
you should
good,
finger
actually.
blast that bell icon. Is that what Jason says?
Yeah, finger blast the
blast
bell
that
icon.
bell icon.
Pretend you're Toph and just finger blast that bell icon. Bend it like it's made of metal.
Yeah, when are we getting the Beckham card in this set?
Oh, I have suggested that they do sports crossovers. We'll get it one day.
They haven't crossed over with the Seattle Kraken, for Christ's sake, and it's right there.
It is.
That
right
would
there,
actually
yeah.
be sick. I
So-
think a lot about the Dodgers One Piece card or whatever, and like,
Yep.
when are we gonna get a Mariners Magic card? Come on.
I pitched them my whole thing about how you could have series with all the teams. Fanatics owns all the sports card licensing for the sports. So you only have to like partner with one company that has the rights, obviously, in addition to the leagues. Just saying, it's kind of doable. Now, maybe you might argue that there's absolutely no crossover between NBA fans or hockey fans and Magic players, and that might be a good
You'd be
argument,
wrong.
but
No, you'd be wrong.
at scale, I don't know. But
I think you're
compared
gonna,
to other things
if
that
you
they
go
could
fishing
do,
for
right?
sports fans and Magic fandom, you'll find a bunch. But if you go fishing for Magic fans and people who primarily associate with sport fandom, I don't think you're going to get a return that way.
Yeah, like, because of fantasy sports now, you mostly have nerds enjoying sports. Like, by volume, the kind of person who's, like, really excited to read modern metagame analysis is also the kind of person who's like, what's this player's wins over replacement?
Sure. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if that player.
there were two approaches to baseball for people back in the day, and it was it was for neurodivergent people to have an interest, and it was for neurotypical people to avoid prematurely ejaculating.
Great. Thanks, Jason.
You're welcome.
That was pretty funny. Come on.
Oh,
You gotta give
man.
him that one.
Oh, man.
Well,
I
if you
that.
like jokes, go to commandersherald.com.
True.
The internet's source of all those clips you've been reading. Be like, that headline's funny. I don't have to click the link. Just click the fucking link. Just
You
go,
should click the link.
click a bunch of links.
Yeah, I
Click the
agree
link
with
so that
one.
Jason can eat tonight.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
For just clicks a day, you can feed this poor starving... You can put this poor starving boy into more tracksuits.
I put funny jokes online, and I thought that was a financially safe decision. Even giving them away for free, I get paid if you click. So click. And we are starting to come up with more ways to get people to come to the website other than just a thing that can be screenshotted. So check Commander's Herald frequently for improvements. Because
The parody stuff
I'm finally paying people who know how to do stuff on the website now. We're doing it.
Love to hear it. Commander's Herald with the parody headlines that never miss. People should check that out. What also doesn't miss, by the way, those are our picks of the week. And they're coming to you right now.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
You see how smooth these transitions are today? I'm crushing it.
Oh yeah, Corbin, your transition's going great.
I love this. What a running
He's
gag.
trans-talented. He's getting worse at this every time.
Someone came up to me a few weeks ago. They were like, Corbin, I listened to the cast this week, and you said the gayest thing you've ever said and the most absurd thing you've ever said. You're on a roll. And I was like, yes.
What was the gayest thing you've ever said?
I don't remember, but I said it, and you were like, that's the gayest thing you've ever said. And I was like, it kind of was. I don't know. I don't remember what it was.
I got a great pick of the week this week, gamers. Corbin's belching. I am not belching. I'm actually spec'd into a different deck.
Let's hear it.
I think Philia is underpriced.
I love that card.
That card is so strong. 2 mana, 2/2 flash. Whenever it attacks, you blink something. If it was your thing, you get a +1/+1 counter on her. People would be flickering like Solitudes, Quantum Riddlers, but you could also just like take away their blocker. I don't know. This card is so strong, and it's like $8.
Dumb. It is a dumb card. It's available as low as 5 or 6 even.
It is a card. Actually, funny enough, if you pull it up on MTG Ban, all the versions of it have a little yellow star next to them, which say that it's at its highest buy list price in the last 30 days? The past 90 days.
Ooh.
Philia is $3.55 TCG low with a $5.20 buy list. Get your copies yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try.
Also, Philia is arguably the best dual commander, which I think is very, very charming for that format.
Yeah, I remember the first time
remember
I
what you're
talking about.
think of the life cycle this card has had in Modern. It started off in those black-white Ketramos decks, and people eventually realized it's just one of the more powerful engines in the whole format.
Yep.
I do think
It's
we're
also
headed
seeing
for an
play in
ephemerate.
Legacy now, too.
Ooh, that's
Wowzers.
nice. I think we're headed for an ephemerate ban, to be honest. But
Ephemerate
Ephemerate's
is a
a
card
fucked up
that...
card.
Yeah, it was always going to be a problem. Like, back when people were Ephemerate looping with Eternal Witness and Time Warp, I was like, that's too much. Now we're doing that with Orum's Chant, which is just way cheaper. It's like, that's worse.
And it's just the
Back
Jess
in my
guy type.
day, we were looping Echoing Truth with I was doing that in Standard, and then some Japanese player did it in Legacy like 10 years after that. It was wild. Or maybe it was
You're a tastemaker.
Modern. Yeah, but like there's nothing funnier than like Echoing Truth back like 2 Ewits and then making a fucking 10 card 50 mana combo to put lands on top of their deck. That's the kind of magic Richard Garfield intended.
One of the coolest modern decks of all time was the like Aether Vial and my Eternal Witness, pick up my Cryptic Command, counter your spell, bounce my Eternal Witness.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't get better than that.
That was
Eternal
the
Command.
Shuhei deck from 2013. Shota's deck from 2013 Magic World Champion or World whatever it was, the World Cup thing that year.
That was an event where Shota won more than 2 of his limited matches, and so he top-8'd.
If you're not using Crystal Shard, I'm not interested.
They made a slightly different Crystal Shard in MH3, and I'm in love with it.
Philia is great though. I think you're right. Philia is probably going to hit 10 at some point soonish.
That's cool.
It's just great. I put it in a commander deck.
I got one with lots of printings, and I still think is a buy at $4.
Okay. What you looking at?
Dual Caster Mage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I got reprinted. I don't think it's due. I think there's a lot of a lot of copies of it out there. I don't think it needs to get reprinted.
Foils of it are also expensive.
Yeah, because a lot of the times it was printed, it wasn't printed in a set where there was foil.
Right.
All right, I've got a little bit of a speculative one, but I like the chart on it. I am talking about a card with a couple reprints here. Terror of Mount Velis. This was in Commander Adventure of the Forgotten Realms. It was in Theros Beyond Death, was its original printing. It was also has some kind of foundation. It's a printing with a foundation symbol on it. Uh-huh. It is a dragon. It's a 7-mana dragon with flying and double strike. When it enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain double strike until the turn. Now, I won't lie. This has intro deck card written all over it. But until that happens, it has gone from $1 up to $2 over the past couple weeks. And it is, in fact, a dragon that goes in dragon decks. So either it gets reprinted or you pull these out of your bulk or grab them or whatever at $1 or $2, and it could randomly be a $5 to $10 dragon because that's how dragons work in Magic.
Uh-huh.
So I wouldn't even call it high risk, high reward, but it is. You do have the potential for this one to just go to 0, the way they've done so many other intro deck 7-mana dragons. But the chart, as it currently stands, has this card climbing. So at least keep an eye on your Terror of Mount Velis. All right, well, I think that almost wraps it up for us this week. We want to remind you to check out MTG Ban, and of course, go to our Patreon at patreon.com/BSB. Now, we've got Thanksgiving coming up. After that, I have a streak where it's like World Championship one weekend, NRG Championship the next, Arena Championship the week after that, and then Christmas. So it's a busy December for me. What do you all have planned for the rest of the year? Where could people find you, your content, any of the above?
I disappeared from social media. Go to Commander's Herald and click a bunch of links.
I'm with Jason. That is a smart decision you made. Cass, what are you up to the next month?
I'm this coming weekend. I'm going to be in Las Vegas, not for the regional championship, but for the Riftbound event.
Ooh, let's go.
I'll be playing League of Legends. I'll be summoning. I have a deck that I think is kind of broken. And then after that, I will be at Worlds. I'm coaching a team. And so I'll see you there, Corbin. Let's grab sushi while you're in town.
Wait, this is great. What are you allowed to? Can you say what team are you involved with?
So I'm personal coach to a couple of players who are on the same team. I'd rather not disclose now, but
yeah, that's all fine. No, that sounds awesome. I'm excited for that.
So I'll see Corbin. He'll be in my neck of the woods, which is going to be great. And then I think that's it for me for the year. I'm going to spend time with my loved ones instead of touching card games for a month, which is going to be good for my soul.
Good idea. If you're in Oklahoma, check out Breakpoint Games. That's how I've been spending all my free time, by the way. So that's what we're up to these days. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Jason and Cass, for casting, as always. Thank you to our patrons at patreon.com/BSB. You make all of this possible. This is Brainstorm Brewery. We'll see you next week.